okay, cool, I'll grab a table. And Jerry goes, not you. And behind him, Bob realized Jerry had been talking to a woman at the top of the steps. And it was, that Seinfeld is just brutal. And you have to love that about him. Like, he doesn't have the ability to be phony. He's like a really, just brutally honest guy.
I think $100 million really cushions your bullshit detector.
That is a good point. $100 million really does make
you know what, Jerry? Come try to work at my Wednesday night that I have going in Hollywood, mister. Mr. Fancy Pants, $100 million in the bank. See if I have you at Dublin's Ale House doing 20 minutes before Dane.
Yeah, you're right, actually. That does fucking really make you honest when you
So De Niro's the weirdest person. I think Mary Jo Buttafuoco is much stranger than De Niro, because De Niro, at least there's a showbiz connection.
De Niro meant something, though, man. I knew he was in the room. It was fucking...
Where were you with Mary Jo Buttafuoco?
I don't remember.
And does she laugh out of, like, one side of her head? She hold her nose, it comes out her ears, that fucking... Oh, Jimmy, you're so funny. You jizz bag.
It might have been at Governor's Long Island. It might have been Governor.
That makes the... Yeah. What I love... God, I fucking love Governors in Long Island.
I haven't done it in years.
I'm going in November, and there's a Bally's Fitness across... directly across the street. But all the letters burned out, the Y burned out, so you leave at night and it just says balls.
It's great.
It's fucking balls.
It's like Saddam International Airport when me and Colin were in Iraq. The fucking letters were Saddam were taken off. The plane, after he had fallen, and it just said like International Airport, but you could still see Saddam on the fucking thing.
You went to Iraq with Colin. It's got to be like the flight.
He doesn't shut the fuck up. He talks.
All right.
Yeah, it's fucking nonstop.
What do you want me to do? It's a Jesus, C-130s don't fly themselves, Jimmy.
Is he just talking to troops incessantly about nothing? Nonsense?
Babbles to every fucking person who will listen to him.
Probably because he's terrified.
I don't know. He's a midlife crisis fucking idiot. Like Colin really, he really wants, he's got like a really weird death wish.
He really should be, he should have a brand new red Corvette parked in Chelsea outside his apartment with like driving gloves. Goes,
I'm gonna go up and see Marty in Delhi. I think I can do it in 2 hours and 52 minutes. Take 2 minutes off my time up the thruway if I leave an hour later.
But yeah, he was fun to go with, and I think Colin could be the fucking funniest guy I've ever known. Patrice, maybe, like there's a couple of guys like that, but Colin is one of the only guys I'd put like in Patrice's.
Patrice, I've always said, is the most interesting guy, because like Stephen Wright's a one-off, Carlin's a one-off, Pryor's a one-off, but everybody piled in behind him.
Right.
Like you can't copy Carlin, you can't copy Patrice, because Patrice is the only guy I saw do crowd work, never insult the audience, but really what they said, I forget how I explained it, it's like he's fishing, like you just keep throwing a line in the water, and if you go, I don't really watch football, and Patrice on his special goes, really? Like, that's weird to me and then he just starts pulling in fucking fish.
Right.
Just cause that guy said that. And if that guy just went Raiders or said the name of a team,
sure,
there's no fish.
Right.
And he just moves on to the next person. Like, why don't you just let him look at these girls' titties? Like every human being in the audience was a potential well of material.
But that's how he was in real life. I mean, that's how he was when you just sat around and talked to him. It's like he would just brutalize that's why the business hated him, because he was their worst nightmare, because he was really funny and loud and honest. And he would laugh. You could never out loud him.
Yeah, that crazy ass laugh.
You were never going to be louder than Patrice. So he could just shame. Like, I think Pryor and Carlin were better comics. And, but although I think Patrice was a great comic. But I mean, as far as being a funny guy, I can't think of anybody I've ever conceptualized that you couldn't put him in a room with where he would be an equal. He'd be an equal with any of those guys sitting around talking.
That's what Colin said at his funeral, I was told. I like the picture right now, Patrice is in heaven meeting God as an equal.
Yeah. After he smashed me. I read something from,
it's the best.
If one of Eddie Brill's, friends sent me a thing about how she had breast cancer and Patrice had made fun of her. She loved him though.
It's a good story
though. It's a great story.
And it's a weird thing like that he would obsess over.
Over her big nipple or whatever it was.
Her prosthetic boob had an erect nipple.
Yeah.
And her other boob did, so she didn't get a matching boob.
Yeah, I guess she just
one was out and one was not.
Yeah, I guess she just figured.
And he said, "How come you're only half glad to see me?" or something like that.
I don't remember. I have it in a message.
Let me tell you how it went, Jimmy.
Tell you how did it go? Because I don't know.
You really don't?
No, I don't remember, dude.
All right. Well, it was a very emotional day for you, so I'll let you off the hook.
Yeah, I was fairly bummed. But it was so weird, too, because Will tried to open the coffin from the other side. Will, who was his roommate for a while.
Yeah. Why? Put something in there?
Just to see if he was in there. Colin, Will, he's Haitian. You know him?
Yeah, I do know Will.
Colin was so funny that day.
So he goes up after you.
He goes up after me, and he just fucking shit on me for mentioning that. He's like, did you have to mention that it was Eddie Brill's friend?
How did Eddie Brill make it into that story?
Yeah, you couldn't edit that out. Stupid. And he just got a huge laugh.
That Patrice's funeral is like one of the most, it really should have been like the New Yorker article about Patrice. There should be a separate article, and there could have actually been like a and I'm not, you know me, and you know Patrice, and you know all the parties involved, and I think when I say this, I'm not speaking in superlatives. You literally, in my opinion, could have made an incredible documentary about Patrice's funeral.
Yeah, with the people that were there, yeah.
And the camaraderie and the gloriousness, horrible tragedy and sadness, but everyone shitting on each other like that really, when Gary Goldman's the one that was like texting me, like live texting, like, oh my God, this is the most amazing. And he really was the one that put it in my head, like, this is a real special group of people. Like these comics are we're all so fucking weird. And I love that Patrice, the only guy that could ever die, that somebody wouldn't go to his funeral for fear that Patrice would come out of the casket and go, what the fuck are you doing here?
They just ridicule you.
Nigga, we weren't even friends.
We when he had his stroke, we found we were going to announce it on the radio. I didn't want to do it by myself, so I'm like, let me have Keith and Colin and all those guys there, because I didn't want to do it alone. It's just too whatever.
It's morbid.
Yeah, it's morbid, man. So we just brutalized each other for about 45 minutes. We didn't know how to get into it. The guys were there from 6 o'clock on, and we just attacked each other. It was very funny. I mean, it really was.
Keith Robinson, if you ever see him out in America, his credits include YouTube.
Yeah. If you've ever seen Wanda Sykes, he's the guy in the front left seat with the hat.
God damn it, Jimmy. Yeah. You know who the hell I am, damn it.
He's Morgan Freeman. And we just attacked each other for 45 minutes until we could figure out how do you
segue into the guy we hold most dear?
Honestly, it was a chip joke that stopped all the fun. We knew we had to get into it.
Isn't that always the case?
Yeah. I did chip and wrecked everything, and then we just said it. And there was nothing else to say, but you had to tell people, but we just didn't know how to fucking, how do you say that?
Somehow, I have the last interview with Patrice on this podcast.
I know you do. I've never heard it. I can't.
It's really, fun and good, and it gets a little bit like we trade paint, like the little, not mean contention,
sure,
but shit that, but I thought you were dirty and you were full of shit, and like how Patrice is, like, so honest. And Patricky, he went through all the Brazil stories and stuff, and then he got up to leave, and we were because he kept telling me how, like, because I don't want to go to the office and look at fucking BJ Novak's face and have him looking at me like that. And I said, but don't you realize I told Patrice, when you're on a set, you're the unicorn. You're the guy that leaves that set that can do something else. They all are fascinated by you because you're the only guy when they say cut rap that can drive to the Laugh Factory and go do stand-up. You're the anomaly.
Right.
So when they're looking at you, you're misinterpreting it. You gotta fucking turn your head around. They're looking at you because they can't believe that when you leave there, you get to go do this other thing where you write all your own shit. You don't wait for someone to come. Anyway, he got up to leave, and I go, whoa, sit back down. And I swear, Jimmy, it was only 3 more minutes. And we finished that fucking run. And the last thing he said on my podcast, interview-wise, was, what I just realized, Jay Mohr? I'm fucking lazy. I gotta change. And the fucking thought of Patrice O'Neal applying himself is white hot. Like, it's frightening what would have happened.
Yeah, and
Thoughts, go. Tell jokes.
It's funny you should say that, Jay, because I've often thought what would happen to me. That's what most comics would do, is just turn around and talk about ourselves.
When's your special, Jim?
It's funny. Patrice would want me to say this. I was actually doing that on stage when I was promoting Elephant in the Room, Mr. P, the CD.
P.
And, cause the CD company actually changed the fucking deal just to give more money to his family. So I was promoting it on stage but also encouraging people to buy mine on the way out, because it's what I said that because it's what he would have wanted.
It is.
Of course they laughed. It would have made him sick to his stomach because he hated merch and he hated the idea of selling it after a show. He's like, I don't know how you do it, but
I love selling merch if I don't have to be the guy standing there doing it.
Right.
Because the people with their fucking camera phones fuck up the line. Like, people just want to buy a shirt, but they're really not buying a shirt. They're buying that photograph.
a photo, sure.
So I think instead of shirts, I should just say, I'll be out front if you give me $1.
You can take a picture.
$1. And that's like nothing. But it's like $40. I did 40 photos.
Yeah.
And held up the second show. But you gotta go in your pocket and have you a fucking $1 bill. Like, to me also, like, them going in their pocket, like, it's kind of humiliating and I kind of win.
Yeah.
like if it was $10, it's like a real transaction, but like, give me $1.
Give me $1.
Give me what you give a homeless man in the street for a photo.
You know who I took for a photo with for $1?
Peter Criss.
It was either $2. No, I paid $50 for that. Same convention though. Good call. Dolomite. Rudy Ray Mohr.
Oh, Rudy Ray Mohr.
And he smelled like piss. He was selling photos because he was old at that point.
Hell no, bitch, you'd have a dick in your mouth. Is that him?
Yeah. Yeah, big burly motherfucker. Yeah, him.
If I had nuts on the wall, would they be walnuts? Yep. If I had nuts on my, what is it? Chest, would they be chestnuts? If I had nuts on my chin, would they be chin nuts? Hell no, bitch, you'd have a dick. But I think he's saying it to his daughter. It's like a whole routine. Like, yeah, that happens all the time. My daughter came up to me and said, Daddy, bitch, you'd have a dick in your mouth.
Yeah, he was wrapping up for the day, and he really was. He was wrapping up his fucking stuff for the day. I gotta get a picture with Dolomite, and he just said for $1. He's like, give me $1, and we took a picture together for $1, and he's dead.
He is dead? Was he also Petey Wheatstraw?
I don't know. Petey, what, the radio guy?
No, the movie Petey Wheatstraw. Like, he was like a Dolomite guy.
Oh, I don't know. I never heard of him.
He'll whoop your ass.
Don't know. But, I mean, I wasn't even a fan of his. It was all blaxploitation, awful, you know. They weren't great movies, but...
Is Black Sabbath in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame now?
Yes, they are.
I was telling my wife this, in San Francisco. I said, I think Jimmy Norton is the reason Black Sabbath is touring and in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like, it's a one-man drum. You were beating that drum for a decade. You were nuts about it.
I left Aspen a day early because they were being inducted in, March of 2006, and I was this one Lucky Louie, right around when Lucky Louie was coming out, and we were promoting it. And at the festival, and I left a day early because I knew that I said they were being inducted on a Monday. I was scheduled to leave Sunday, but I said, fuck it, I blew up my show Saturday and left Saturday because I said, if there's a snowstorm here, I'll commit a homicide in the airport. Like, I will go to jail. So I fucking did, and there was a snowstorm, and I would have missed my flight.
Oh, wow.
But it's the greatest fucking day of my life. I get to New York, and Tony Iommi was fucking looking to pitch a show on XM. So the day they're being inducted into the hall, me and Steve, our Carlisi, our old radio producer, and fucking Tony and one other guy have lunch. I had lunch with Iommi that day. And we fucking get a Cobb salad. And we sat there.
I thought that was an excellent choice.
Yeah, I did too. I think I got the same thing.
She could have had anything she wanted. Yeah. She had apple pie with a slice of cheese. She could have had anything she wanted.
What is that?
I think it's Taxi Driver.
Fucking, so we had Cobb salad, and I was comfortable with talking to him because I was so nervous. It was so beyond where I should be. So later that night, I go to the induction. I hijacked the fucking induction. I'm asking them fan questions. The reporters were fucking so annoyed at me because I literally just stood up and started asking the band questions.
But the questions you have are the real good ones.
I believe so. They were good fan questions.
Reporter questions are going to be stupid.
Yeah, when's the next album coming out?
How does it feel?
Yeah, and Tony recognized
me. Oh, you know, I'm hungry, actually.
Yeah.
I feel like I could use another Cobb salad is how the fuck I feel.
Well, he came out on stage and he smiled at me. He recognized I was fucking amazing. And I went backstage after to get a picture. So I asked Ozzy, like, I wanted to get a picture with the band. But Ozzy's like, okay, he waited. But then nobody else came out. I was like, all right, man, I gotta go. And then fucking Tony came out. And I'm like, Tony, Ozzy's leaving. I want a picture with the band. I'll never get this chance again. And he goes, Oz. And he fucking called Ozzy back. And so I got a fucking photo with Sabbath all holding the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame trophy. It's the greatest. I'll never top that moment.
I hope you do.
Nothing I ever do will be better than that.
I disagree.
Ever.
If you hang yourself, masturbate, and live.
Maybe if I'm looking at that.
There you go.
It's signed. I got them all
signed. Where is it
too.
in your house?
It's right on my fucking... As soon as you walk in, you see it signed.
It's the first thing you see.
This big. Oh, yeah.
Because I don't know if the fans... I mean, your fans and Opie and Anthony fans, but people that are just more Stories fans, they might not know that Jimmy is an absolute compulsive celebrity photo taker.
Yeah.
Bordering on stalker.
Yeah, but the only time I don't ask people is if they're eating or with their kids. Like, there's weird times I won't ask.
I'll blow up a fucking meal in 2 seconds. Not for photos, but I just want the face to face. Like, I just want to tell you hello, and I like what you're doing, and I don't give a fuck if they got a mouthful of chili cheeseburger. And with their kids, like, because no one fucking ever extends it to me. So I go, well, apparently this Reggie Jackson, obviously, people come up to him a lot more than me.
Sure.
So I'm like, well, he fucking knows the drill.